He is the host and creator of this wonderful storytelling series called Surprise Stories, also a winner of the Moth Story Slam. Please give a warm welcome to Colin Wilhm.
So we're in Mrs. Davis's sophomore honors English class in high school, and we're silently reading The Crucible, which is a laugh riot if you've never read it before. And I'm having trouble concentrating for a couple of reasons. One, because I have a mild case of dyslexia, so I have to read something 2 or 3 times before it actually registers. I'm like a poster child for Adderall, even though I've legally never obtained a prescription for it. And the other reason is because I'm very noise sensitive, and I hear this sound. And I perk my head up from my textbook, and I look at the other students around me. And there, on the other side of the room, I see the object of my annoyance, Jenny Van Vleck. Now, I've known Jenny since we were in 6th grade together at Indian Hills Elementary School. We were little tykes running around on the playground. She's petite, she's cute, and she's twirling her long brown hair in one of her hands. I zero in on the other hand, and I watch as it slowly slides across the top of the piece of paper she's reading. And when it gets to the edge, she turns her hand and she drags it down to the very bottom of the page. And she repeats this action over and over again, and it is slowly driving me insane. Now, at the end of the school year, I have to get Mrs. Davis's permission in order to advance to junior honors English class. And Mrs. Davis, she's intimidating, she's strict, and she's got kind of an evil queen from Snow White thing going on. She's very tall, and she's got pasty white skin, and she's got this short black hair, and she wears this deep red shade of lipstick. And I nervously hand her my permission slip, and she takes it, and she thinks, and she signs her name, and she writes 2 words after it, and she hands it back to me. And I look, and there, beside her signature, are 2 words that nobody can mistake because they're written in big block letters. It says, "with reservations." Now, the sad thing is, I don't know what that means. So that evening, I get off the school bus and I run into my bedroom and I grab the Webster's Dictionary, which is a book filled with lots of definitions, and I flip through to the R section. And I look, and I find there are a couple of different definitions, and one is very negative, and I think, well, she probably means that one. And the other definition is positive, and I convince my brain that that's probably what she was going for. Like, make sure you reserve a seat in your class for Colin, because this kid, he's definitely going places. Well, I get into junior honors English class, and Jenny Van Vleck is in the class too, and she still does this annoying thing with her paper every time we have silent reading. One day after class, Jenny asks me if I want to hang out after school. Now, I'm a very shy, introverted person. I spend my lunch breaks eating by myself, and the other kids in school, they make fun of me. They call me toupee because of the way that I wear my hair. Perfect. And so I have 2 options. I can either say yes or I can say no, because that's how decision making works. And I say yes, and that afternoon, Jenny, she drives us in her red Mercury Cougar to her house. And I hang out in her bedroom with her and her very best friend, Katie. Now, Katie is identical to Jenny, except she has long black hair instead of brown hair. And we're sitting there and we're talking about other students and our teacher, and Jenny suggests that we play strip poker. Now, I've never played poker before, and I've definitely never played strip poker. And apparently neither of these 2 girls, because in 5 minutes, they're both topless. I've never seen a boob before, and now I've got 4 staring me right in the face. And I'm a little excited. And I am now down to my undershirt and my boxer shorts, and I have just lost one of those articles of clothing. And I go with the obvious choice, my boxer shorts. I'm very sensitive about my upper body. I have a bit of a gelatinous mass around my midsection, And after some prodding, I mean, they say, we showed you ours, you have to show us yours. I get up on the bed and I pull my boxer shorts down to just below my ankles, and I stand up for like a second, and I grab them and I pull them back up, and I get off the bed, and I'm feeling pretty good because I've done something today that I normally would not do. And they didn't laugh, and I take that as a good sign. Well, now Jenny, she had been dating this guy Ryan for about a year, and they had broken up, and I thought there's probably a really good chance they saw each other naked. And call it curiosity or a guy thing, but I asked Jenny, I ask her which one of us is bigger. And she doesn't tell me, and it's probably a good thing. But the three of us, Jenny, Katie, and myself, we become really good friends, and we start to do everything together. We're our own little clique. And we make up our own language, and for a period of time, we all think the word wolf is the funniest word in the English language. Well, one day, after I've been hanging out at Jenny's house, she drives me back to my house, and it's a dark night, and the sky is lit up with stars, and the lights in my house are still on. And we're sitting out in the car, and Jenny just doesn't want to stop the conversation. She keeps it going. And I'm like, listen, I have a curfew. My parents are going to get mad if I don't go inside. And I get out of the car, and Jenny gets out with me. And we walk around to the back, and she sits up on the trunk. And she wants to know about my love life, and she asks, why haven't you ever kissed a girl before? And she closes her eyes, and she says, come here. And she grabs my hand, and she pulls me in close. And she kind of cocks her head, and my eyes are wide open, and she plants her wet lips on my very dry, chapped lips, and they're closed, and she tells me to relax, and I'm like, I can't relax. You don't understand how stressful this is for me right now. And she's like, just open your mouth a little bit, and I do, and she starts to, she slips me the tongue, and I react the same way I did the first time I tried seafood, which wasn't good. I start to gag, and I back away a little bit because I do not want to vomit all over Jenny Van Vleck. And I go inside the house, and we don't talk about it. I mean, Jenny, she definitely wants something more, but I don't understand why we can't just keep it the way it is. I like what we've got going. But Jenny, that's just not good enough for her. And a few weeks later, we just stop hanging out. Now, what I don't know, and what I figure out about 5 years later, is that I'm a flaming homosexual. But at the time, I guess you could say I just had reservations. Thank you.